I think pretty much everyone says.
Go back!
I'm
You pointed it out.
I got you.
I'm down there. Wait, can you put the
There we go.
place in Apex called ECE. Automation. It doesn't react, it does a lot of this.
Wait, what?
Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening. My name is Dan Stansel, and as head of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the December 2022 ECE graduation ceremony. We're still mindful of the fact that COVID, the flu, and other viruses are still around. So I wanted to let you know that I will be congratulating you with an optional fist bump when you come across the platform instead of shaking your hand. It's my pleasure also to begin the ceremony by introducing our guest speaker, Dr. Kamala Subramaniam. Dr. Subramaniam is the Director of Software Engineering for Cloud Networking at Google. Kamala also serves as the Google Engineering Site Lead for the Durham, North Carolina office and is responsible for growing Google Cloud's presence in North Carolina and building an ecosystem of academia, industry, and local communities. Kamala will focus on research, scientific discovery, and technological advancement, all with a keen focus on diversity and inclusion. Kamala is also the diversity and inclusion leader for Google Networking and is passionate about hiring and growing underrepresented talent in her organization. She received both an MS in computer networking and a PhD in computer engineering from NC State University. Kamala serves on NC State's Computer Science Strategic Advisory Board and is also a member of NC State's Board of Visitors. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kamala Subramaniam.
First, I'd like to thank Dr. Stansel and his team for having me here to speak today. I'd also like to thank each one of you and all of your family for sharing such an important day with me. I remember many things about the years I spent at NCSU and also my graduation day, but I do not remember who my commencement speaker was. I understand I stand between you receiving your diplomas, family dinners, night out with friends, a bad hangover. So I recognize the importance of keeping this short. When I was here, I spent way too much time eating at Golden Dragon and drinking at Sammy's Tap and Grill. In an act of bravery or stupidity, and the verdict is still out there, in my first semester, I took ECE 766, Signal Processing for Communications and Networking. 2 weeks into the course, the professor pulled me aside and encouraged me to drop the course. That day, I witnessed both kindness and failure. What I'm trying to say is that there is hope. I'm standing here 15 years later. I'm also trying to say that I understand what it took for each one of you to graduate today. You made it. Congratulations. When I left NC State, I didn't graduate with the best GPA or the dream campus job. In fact, both times that I graduated with a master's and a PhD, the macroeconomic situation in the industry was very much similar to what it is today. Like me then, you must be worried about the uncertain times ahead, which is why I wanted to put some extra thought into my message to you today. Today, I'd like to take you through my journey from graduating at State to where I am today, with a few inspiring quotes and hopefully some anecdotes and personal stories along the way. My first quote is, "Essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for," by Hector Garcia Puigsever from Ikigai. I wished I had invested in the concept of Ikigai much earlier on in life. It is a Japanese spiritual context, which even in its most vanilla translation is powerful. The reason for which you wake up in the morning. I graduated from state and I went on to be a software engineer at an okay firm. I was doing reasonably okay. It brought me no joy. I felt incomplete. I didn't know if one day I didn't show up at work, if they would miss me or if they would miss my work. And I didn't know that there were better and greater things for me outside. It is easy to talk about a philosophy, but really hard to translate it, so let me try. The concept is simply having 4 aspects covered. You love what you do, you're great at what you do, the world needs what you do, and you get paid well for it. Okay? Today, after 15 years, I think I found my ikigai. I wake up each morning raring to go. I'm great at what I do. I deliver products to billions of people across the world, transforming their lives every day, and I'm well compensated for it. I wish that each of you find your ikigai. My second quote is, never say never, because limits, like fears, often are just an illusion. Michael Jordan. Earlier on in my career, I imposed several limits on myself. I was not good enough. The valley is full of rock stars. I'm nobody. Maybe I should wait for 2 more years before I apply for that job. Perhaps I should just focus on my kids right now. Or maybe I'll take that big risk after I had submitted my resignation. And I created hell. My VP that day wrote me a check. He was worried. As I walked out, I realized that if I hadn't asked for it, I wouldn't have got it. If you don't go after what you want, you will never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you will always be in the same place. My next quote is, you miss 100% of the shots you never take, by Wayne Gretzky. As I walked out of my VP's office, I remember taking the stairs next to his office, and my legs had turned into jelly. I couldn't walk, and I was holding the rails, and I sat down, and I burst into tears. At that time, a friend and a colleague of mine came to me and said, I understand you're upset, but don't you see that you were complacent, and this is your fault? And I was furious at him. I said, my heart's broken and you're saying this is my fault? And he told me through over the years, many of them had learned new skill sets. They had gone, gotten offers. They had been counter-offered at the current company. That was the reason for the gap in the compensation. And he told me I was complacent. So complacency is the kiss of death. Take bold risks. Simply take stock of what you're doing right now. Does it come easy to you? Are you confident you will never fail? Do you have all the things you know to do the task at hand? If the answer is yes to all these questions, you're complacent. To bust myself out of complacency, I use 70-30 rule variation, which is at least 30% of something that I do makes me extremely uncomfortable. Sometimes I have a physical reaction to it. Flushed cheeks, raised heartbeat, tongue paralysis, a deer in the headlight look, something similar to standing here in front of such a large crowd and talking to you. But that's when you know, at that level of uncomfort, that you're learning new skills and you're building new muscles for your next job. Because you see, a career is nothing but a carefully curated list of jobs that eventually make sense one day. My next quote is very famous. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Steve Jobs. The new me had now busted complacency, and I was working for some of the best employers in the world. I now realized I had another problem at hand. I had suddenly become way more ambitious, and the world didn't get the memo. I waited for many years, having to wait to get the scope and the opportunity that my newfound skill sets deserved. I was constantly hustling and learning, but I felt I was put back into complacency, but this time due to external factors. I had to prove it over and over again. I had to fight biases of being aggressive when all I was being assertive. I was subject to the maternal wall. I was held to a higher standard and more rigorous requirements than my male peers. Each time that happened, I gathered my skill sets and took it to a different place. So ensure that you're always in a place where you feel included, that there are people who look like you and talk like you in the highest echelons of leadership, that your voice is heard, that you have a seat at the table where decisions are being made, and your vote counts. Speaking of tables, my next quote is, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Shirley Chisholm. I was at a NANOC conference in Seattle, and in between companies usually meet up to talk shop. I had just had lunch, and I was going into a conference where I was meeting a bunch of ASIC vendors to check their hardware and software capabilities to onboard onto our network. I was the first one in the room. I saw a coffee machine on the corner, so I decided to make myself some coffee. The first set of vendors walked in. I was dressed nice. I was traveling. I wasn't in my soccer mom gear. I was in a dress and high heels, and I don't know what they mistook me for, but it was definitely not a principal architect of one of the largest networks in the world. They gave me their parking tickets and asked me to get them validated for them. That day, I had two choices. I could either get mad, or I could bring my table closer. I could bring my chair closer to the table. I was also feeling a little naughty that day. So I took their passes, and I walked out because I had gotten mine validated earlier. So I went there, got their parking passes validated, came back in, and everybody was there. So were my colleagues who introduced me as the person we were waiting for. I quietly handed them their passes with a smile on my face, and the deafening noise and the deafening silence in the room and their faces ballooning due to lack of oxygen was apology enough. My next quote is, the most important work you will ever do will be within the walls of your own home. With my newfound drive and ambition, I felt I had left a few people behind who really mattered to me. My two kids lacked for my time. Each day we make deposits as parents into the memory box of our children. Mine was running dangerously low in my race to climb the ladder. What good is our power and success if when you climb all the way to the top, all it gives you is a bird's eye view of everyone you've left behind? Focus on intentional and strict prioritization of your life, not work. For me, that starts with my kids. Today, I know what's the next test on my son's calendar, when's my daughter's next GEM meet, and I make sure to be present for them. Because everything else comes second. Your legacy, first and foremost, starts at home. Which brings me to my next quote. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. By Joy J. Golliver. Find a legacy you can leave behind. The story you leave for others to tell. The impression you make on the next generation. Not comprised of material things, but of character, conviction, and compassion. In a world of givers, matchers, and takers, data shows that long-term success belongs to the givers who give without any reciprocation. Today, after 15 years of intentional effort, I have an organization that is representative in many ways: gender, race, socioeconomic background, sexual orientation, etc. One day you will become a sponsor. And as a sponsor, you will need to use your power, privilege, and position to ensure that every decision you make and every initiative you take results in equitable outcomes. It comes with an understanding that the baselines for our underrepresented communities are different. It was harder for them to get to the same place, their ability to take risks lower, and their chances to fail and recover harder. I wish for each one of you today to take stock of your own privilege and see what you can do to better the underrepresented communities. My last quote is from Michelle Obama. I have learned that as long as I hold fast to my beliefs and values and follow my own moral compass, then the only expectations that I need to live up to are my own. Your values, morals, and beliefs that you build over time will strengthen your decisions, your relationships, and your life. They will also be tested. If you don't stick to your values while they are being tested, they're not values, they are hobbies. You might suffer deep betrayals, sometimes from the people closest to you. The shattering of your heart while it's being broken will be the loudest quiet ever. The death of a loved one will make the whole world seem depopulated. And the world will not stop for your grief. It is at this time that your values will open you up to a new world of possibilities, opportunities, and beginnings. Will help you make stories out of your heartbreak and bring beauty out of sorrow. What I wish today for you, class of 2022, is that you're able to recognize and bust complacency, live deeply true to your values, that you're equipped to bring the world along with your ambition, that you leave a legacy behind, no matter how small, and you find your ikigai. There is a passion inside each one of you, a unique talent that gives your life purpose and meaning. Please discover it and live it. For those of you who will be joining me at the Google Cloud Engineering Hub in Durham, I'm looking forward to welcoming you. To all of you, congratulations.
Hello, my name is Greg Bird. I'm the Associate Department Head, and it's my honor to introduce our student speaker for this evening, Brandon Sluss. Brandon is a graduating senior who's earning dual degrees of both electrical engineering and computer engineering, with minors in business entrepreneurship and military science. During his time as NC State, Brandon has been part of the ROTC program, undergrad research, internship, study abroad at Leeds in the UK, and has worked as a teaching assistant. As part of the ROTC program, Brandon was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army, as a cyber officer in the North Carolina National Guard. Throughout the years at NC State, Brandon worked alongside faculty member Dr. Awad's research on security systems on a chip, Dr. Adams assisting on direct antenna modulation research. In his role with Dr. Adams, he was able to help publish a paper in a scholarly journal, the IEEE Transactions on Microwave Theory and Techniques. After graduation, Brandon will be returning to the Wolfpack next year to complete his master's degree in computer engineering. Please welcome Brandon Sluss.
Just get this settled here. Thank you, Dr. Bird. Graduates, loved ones, and distinguished faculty members, it is an honor to be here with you today. I'm so grateful to NC State's ECE department for the privilege of being your speaker. And I'm actually surprised I made it here tonight. As you can see, I just came from a commissioning ceremony over at Witherspoon, and I had to sprint over here to make sure I wasn't late. Hopefully, I got enough of being late to all my classes throughout these past 4 years. So, I want to start with a quote. This isn't your typical Harvard professor or Steve Jobs quote, but I'm sure all of you will get the reference, especially those in attendance here, and understand where I'm going with this. It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. These famous words that were all over your TikTok For You page not too long ago are words from an inspirational man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and a representative to the motivation and dedication that I used, well, we all used, to get to where we are today. College is hard. It was hard for many of us. Dealing with COVID, which saw us go online and then come back and then go online again and then finally come back to in person. This was hard, navigating career paths and jobs and making money while also attending classes and taking care of homework, projects, and studying. It was all hard. But we didn't let this stop us from learning and completing this very difficult degree. So let's break down this funny line from the People's Champ and relate it to how we got to where we are today. It's about drive, it's about power. I remember when COVID first hit, and I lost my first internship as a sophomore with Goodyear due to their factory closing. This was very heartbreaking, as I was yearning for some real-world experience to apply the skills I learned. I didn't let this deter me, however. I continued with this hard work and drive to accomplish that goal and began applying to countless hundreds of internships on EPAC, LinkedIn, and really anywhere else I could find them. After about a month, I was finally able to secure an internship for the summer in Maryland. I definitely would not have been able to do this without that drive. Just like many of you would not been able to secure your own internships or co-ops or future job offers without that drive. Next, The Rock says, "We stay hungry, we devour." Now, while I do be eating, I mean, look at me. This is not a reference to food. We're all hungry for learning, meaning, purpose. We want to take in as much as possible. That's what I felt these past few semesters in taking on new research roles and honors contracts. This semester, I ended up not being too helpful in the new research role I took on, as we all get caught up in work and such. But I still showed that hunger when I worked with Dr. Tuck regarding an honors contract, or keeping up with research with Dr. Adams, or sending an email this semester to Dr. Yu regarding any research positions that were available to further my education in an area of interest. I'm sure many of you relate to this hunger for knowledge, or else we wouldn't be here today. Next, the People's Champ says, "Put in the work, put in the hours." This one probably relates to everyone in the room the most. How many times have we stayed up all night, working on projects and homework, turning it in just before the deadline? Hey, the professors, they always say, don't wait till the last minute. They may not like it, but hey, the work got done, didn't it? Look where we are. Just this past Thanksgiving break, I had to debug my 564 huge project, and that's the Verilog class for those that don't know. It was over 2,000 lines of code, and I was up till 3 a.m. one night, and then worked on it throughout the whole next day until 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day morning, when I finally received the all test pass message. These long hours are what was necessary to get it done, so we put in the work, and we put in the hours. Lastly, he says, take what's ours. This is where we are today. We finished this huge milestone and are taking what we earned. The degree, the recognition, the feeling of accomplishment, all of it is ours today, so be proud. This also represents all the friendships and relationships that you're taking with you to the next chapter in your life. We all had our friend groups. Mine was mainly with those from my freshman year floor at the Engineering Village. And the other huge part of my college life was ROTC. Those guys and girls are through and through, whether that's embracing the suck in the mud on a rating field training exercise, or downtown tearing it up with DJ Dice at Pine State. Forming all these relationships is what college is all about. So once again, thank you to everyone who helped me in the countless classes and the formed friendships that I made here, and family that stuck with me along the way, and especially to professors like both the Townsends and Dr. Yu, and Dr. Bird and Dr. Rottenberg. I appreciate all of you. So let's continue this drive and hunger to the next chapter in our life, and once again, we will take what's ours.
Okay, we're now at the part where we recognize all of our graduates, calling them by name and asking them to accept our congratulations. We start with the PhD degree. The doctoral degree is the most advanced academic degree conferred by American institutions of higher education. It requires the publication of a dissertation, which is a contribution to knowledge in the field. So you can see the dissertation topics in your program, and we have a special hooding ceremony for those completing their PhD, and they'll be accompanied by their advisor or someone else on their committee. So, Chetan Kumar Anganappa. Alexander Frage, advised by Huyan Zhou and Yan Solian. Sudhindu Kumar, advised by Yanis Vinyotis. Grant Scarborough, advised by Michael Kudinoff. And Evan Williams, advised by Alper Bosker. Let's have a round of applause for all of our PhD graduates. Next, we recognize our Master of Science graduates in computer engineering. Stephen Michael Dupour. Darshan Bafna. Andrew Knowles. Keshan Joshi. Ryan Candelaria. Sri Harsha Padnala. Senthil Kumar Sankar. Ravitija Mosale. Aman Ahmed. Krishna Shashank Bachu. Vignesh Ramesh Kumar Iyer. Akhil Mehta. Ayusha Chauhan. Yusung Kim. Next in computer networking. Or electrical engineering, sorry. Electrical engineering. Christian Alejandro Tarqui Campos. Sandeep Reddy Pasati. Yeah, these are computer networking. Zhao Ri Fang. Saketh Jandiala. Janani Jayaraman. Jinni Liu. Nolan Gear. Akash Prakash Rato. Amoga Manoj Hardas. Robert Michael Hunter II. Davis Ilmberger Fisher. Shibani Mahapatra. Shankar Kalambala Suresh. Atar Nirij Sharkakarni. Henry Chen. Jake Carter. Electrical engineering. Jacob Burleson. Scott Stanley. Vignesh Kumar Ramamurthy Chandra Muli. Caleb Anton Lewis Renderer. David Baitrago. Daniel James Higgins. Matthew Robert Lee. Naif Ali Al-Sawi. Ayad Fahad Al-Sulaihim. Vladimir Zeraniev. Ashwini Pondicherry Ganesh. Manesha Malesh. Santosh Komtpatla. Shailendra Rajput. David Fleisner. Vaibhavi Nejkar. Brian Udichukwu. Derek Munoz Solis. Britannia Wright Smith. Rohit Sashi Kumar Nair. Akriti. Rujuta Deo. Niyata Ashok. And Electric Power Systems Engineering, Charlie Averitt. Tyler Ray Gregory. Preet Patel. Congratulations to all of our master's graduates. We now recognize our Bachelor of Science graduates, starting with dual degrees, both electrical and computer engineering. Brandon Scott Sluss. Nicholas Luke Quinn. Neil Vijay Desai. Lumeng Zhang. Joshua Hayden Swaim. Colton Jeffrey Beck. Isaac Andrew Gaskins. Byron Wong Chi. Tiwang Tira. Chun Nai O. Freddie Ulysses Fuentes. In electrical engineering, Trenton Embry. Benjamin Keith Davis. Jonathan Page. Jack Lewis. Robert Tanner Boylan. Michael Allen Wohl. Brian Rayshawn Foger. Joseph Robert McCarthy. Mark Thomas Funderburg. Joshua Allen Wilson. Harrison Richard Stragg. Connor John Walker. Nolan Hunter Carr. Justin Iben. Thomas Parsons. Silu Zhang. Kyle Andrew Mason. Matthew Ryan Class. Sam Joyce. Tin Dong Vo. Long Huang Din. Timothy Lawrence Willis. Ibrahim Ahmad Natham. Landon Javon Calton. Sean Patrick Gray. Michael Gardo. And in computer engineering, Tariq Ziad Dwikat. Dhiraj Panam. Rohit Iyer. Jacob Brian Aponte. Derek John Sweetman. Daniel Smith. Arvind Venkataraman. Akshay Kamalapuram Sridhar. Patrick Coville. Jonathan Nicholas Quantz. Cole Michael Rathke. Margaret Catherine Martin. Jake Ethan Meckley. Cynthia Rios. Matthew Panizza. Ishwan Pan. John Lee Poteet. Ahmed Ajbana. Congratulations to all of our graduates. So it's now my pleasure to recognize those who've graduated with honors. So I am going to read these names pretty quickly, so please hold your applause until each group is complete, please. First group is cum laude, those graduating with a GPA of 3.25 to 3.49. So as I call your name, please stand up and be recognized. Ahmed Abchma, Patrick Colville, Rohit Iyer, Kyle Andrew Mason, Joseph Claiborne Scarborough, Henry Paul Steffens, Derek John Sweetman, and Dewang Tara. Those graduating magna cum laude, those are GPAs between 3.5 and 3.74. Sitao Chen, Nia Vijay Desai, Longhwan Din, Ibrahim Ahmad Natham, Jonathan Page, Cynthia Rios, Tendang Vo. And those graduating summa cum laude means with highest honors, having finished with GPAs of 3.75 and above. Landon Javon Calton, Nolan Hunter Carr, Benjamin Keith Davis, Justin Iben, Trenton Embry, Isaac Andrew Gaskins, Sam Joyce, Justin Kaler, Margaret Catherine Martin, Jake Ethan Meckley, Jen Nai O, Matthew Richard Panizza, Dheeraj Panam, Thomas Parsons, John Lee Poteet, Byron Wang Chi, Jonathan Nicholas Quantz, Nicholas Luke Quinn, Cole Michael Rathke, Brandon Scott Sluss, Daniel Smith, Harrison Richard Stragg, Joshua Hayden Swaim, Joshua Allen Wilson. Congratulations. Good job. Very good. You're going to try to hold until the end, please. One more group. This is our group of outstanding seniors, those who are graduating with a 4.0 perfect GPA. Please hold your applause. Landon Javon Calton, Trenton Embry, Jake Ethan Meckley, Matthew Richard Panizza, Thomas Parsons, John Lee Poteet, Byron Wang Chi, Jonathan Nicholas Quantz, Cole Michael Rathke, Brandon Scott Sluss, Joshua Allen Wilson. Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Bird. And graduates, this milestone represents years of hard work and accomplishment. However, in addition to hard work, I suspect the support of family and friends has been critical to your success. If you are a family member or a friend of one of the graduates, would you stand, please, and let's recognize them. Thank you. This graduation ceremony was organized and run by Rachel Gruber with technical direction by Charles Hall, with the invaluable assistance of Isabella Mormando, Todd Gardner from Computer Science, Jack Bowden from the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, the ECE Department and Freedom Center staff, and the ECE student ambassadors. Thank you to all of them. The ceremony has been live streamed to family and friends who could not be here in person today, and a recording will be available on the NC State ECE YouTube channel later. More information can be found at the end of your graduation program. There's been a lot in the news lately about social media platforms such as Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. On the one hand, they can be wonderful ways to stay in touch with family and friends and to rally support for important causes. On the other hand, they can be tools of misinformation that can negatively impact the mental health of young people and negatively impact the common good. Of course, any technology can be used either for the common good or for the common detriment. And as electrical and computer engineers, you will likely spend significant portions of your career creating, promoting, or managing new technologies. So what role can or should we as engineers play to promote positive uses of technology? The precise answer to this question, I think, will be different for each one of you. But I would suggest that the IEEE Code of Ethics presents a useful starting point. Here's an abbreviated version. We, the members of the IEEE, in recognition of the importance of our technologies in affecting the quality of life throughout the world, and in accepting a personal obligation to our profession, its members, and the communities we serve, do hereby commit ourselves to the highest ethical and professional conduct and agree, 1, to uphold the highest standards of integrity, responsible behavior, and ethical conduct in professional activities. 2, to treat all persons fairly and with respect, to not engage in harassment or discrimination, and to avoid injuring others. And 3, to strive to ensure this code is upheld by colleagues and coworkers. The code elaborates on each one of these points, and I encourage you to look it up to see the entire text. In committing to practice engineering with integrity and with the public good in mind, you will join the ranks of thousands of alumni of NC State ECE who have worked to make the world a better place over the past 100+ years. I hope that you, in fact, feel like you're part of that NC State ECE family and feel a kinship with those who have graduated before you. And to this end, I hope that you'll stay in touch. The success of the ECE department will increase the value of your degree, and your success will enhance the status of the department. This relationship is important to both of us. And with regard to keeping in touch, I can also tell you that there are few things that professors enjoy more than hearing from former students. So with that, I'm happy to conclude our ceremony. Let's hear it one more time for the class of fall 2022. I would like to ask for everyone to remain seated while the faculty recesses. Then I would like to ask the guests to remain seated while the graduates recess. And then I wish all of you a wonderful evening with family and friends.
Hello.